Release mind-made resistance to manifest faster. My name is Adrienne Grace. I'm a manifestation coach and an intuitive. And today I want to talk about how the mind is resistance. What do I mean by that? Well, if you think about a wire that's conducting electricity, when you have flow, there's no resistance to it. But if you add resistance, the electricity can't run freely through the wire. And it's the same thing with us. We have energy that's flowing to and through us all the time. But unfortunately, we have the power through our own mind to create resistance. Now, first of all, a really easy way to release resistance is actually through meditation. So when you meditate and you can still the mind, you actually open up the channel for and allow subatomic particles, the particles of infinite creation and energy to flow to and through you faster and easier because your mind is out of the way. But now we want to take that non-resistant state into our everyday life, because oftentimes it is resistance that's causing our manifestations to slow down. So resistance comes in the form of negativity, and it's really any and all negativity. It's the fear, it's the doubt, it's the worry, it's the anxiousness, it's the resistance to what is, saying this shouldn't be happening or I don't want this to happen, and pushing things away. This causes a lot of stress into our whole system. And when we're stressed, our body literally can't receive more particles of infinite creation to allow it to manifest things into physical form. We have energy that's running to and through us all the time, and the energy is neutral. It's us. We have the power to make it either positive or negative. So look to see where in your life you're creating resistance. Do you create resistance by severely attaching yourself to something that you want? I just talked about this in another video that I had about releasing your attachment to wanting money and coming into neutrality about it, and I'll link that below if you want to watch that. But do this with anything it is that you want in your life. You want to bring it to neutrality. You don't want to be so attached and place so much emphasis on this thing, thinking, I can't be happy until I have this thing. That is a surefire way to actually keep your manifestations at bay. When you place all this importance on them, there's so much energy, so much power going to that thing, and you're saying, I'm here, that thing is out there, and I don't have it yet. That is creating a lot of negativity, and because we have something called balancing forces or opposing forces in the universe, you're going to be kept away from it. Right? Even just in that neediness, that energy is actually repelling the very thing that you want, and that is a form of resistance. Now, one time I channeled a message from my guides, and it talked about a tree, and it said that if a tree had a human mind, it would stop growing, because it would be like, why are my leaves falling off? Why am I bent this way? I don't understand what's happening. I don't want to let go of the leaves, right? It would literally stunt its growth, or maybe just severely slow it down. And that's what we're doing, actually, right? We are limiting ourselves by not opening up and allowing the flow of life to happen through us. We don't know if something is good or bad. We just don't know in the moment. Like, for example, maybe a tree is growing sideways, right? And it's growing sideways because it's actually protecting the tree, and it's allowing the tree to get more sunlight, and it's implanting the roots even deeper, and it's going towards a water source or something. But if that tree had a mind, it would be like, why am I growing sideways? I don't look like every other tree. What's happening, right? And it doesn't realize that growing to the side is benefiting the tree. It's kind of a funny analogy, but then think about that for your own life. Yeah, maybe things look differently than what you thought they would look like, or look differently than, you're comparing yourself to other people. That's causing a lot of resistance inside of you. And that very resistance is keeping the things that you want at bay. So we want to practice radical acceptance. If you've ever studied Buddhism, they have this philosophy called radical acceptance, and it's about just accepting everything that is. because we truly don't know. We don't have the big picture. We don't have the full picture, right? We just have our lens that we're seeing reality through, and we only have this moment in time. So we can't know if something is good or bad. A perfect example of this is if you've ever known somebody that had something happen to them where, maybe it was an unexpected divorce or an unexpected illness, and then they looked back at it and said, wow, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. In the moment, they did not think that. They did not know that. And I'm sure they probably created a lot of stress and a lot of suffering for themselves, thinking this shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? I don't want this to happen. But as soon as they let go and allowed something even more beautiful to come into their life, and that is what's happening to us all the time. When we don't resist, when we understand that everything that's happening is actually neutral. Actually, everything that's happening to us is happening for our highest good. Your soul, your higher self knows exactly how to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And it's your job to just let go of that grip and allow yourself to be drawn and pulled into that vision. The other thing I want to talk about is how your mind doesn't know what it doesn't know, right? If you knew how to get from where you are to where you want to be, you would already be there. Your mind doesn't know. And so I want you to keep your mind open to possibilities and potentials. Because when we get really attached to the way something should look, then we let all these other great things that could be a good fit for us pass us by. If you study successful people, which I do often, a lot of them actually fell in or stumbled into what they were doing and then didn't realize they were going to have all this success, right? They kind of just followed their excitement. They followed their curiosity, and they just thought, okay, let me just take this next step and this next step. And it ended up being something completely different than what they thought. But it turned out to be even better than what they truly desired. And so when we keep our mind open to possibilities, there's so many more things that can happen. Napoleon Hill talks about an open mind being like a fist. He says a fist that is closed can really only do two things. It can punch or it can hit, right? But if you open your hand, all of a sudden now there are endless possibilities of things that you can do with your hand. And it's the same thing with our mind. A closed mind can't get us anywhere, but an open mind has endless possibilities. So when you find yourself really wanting something and having that intense longing for it, I want you to take 3 conscious breaths and go from your head down to your heart and tell yourself, it's already mine. I have this already. It exists. I can see it. I know it will be mine. I can rest. All is well in my world. And everything is working out for my highest good. These are great affirmations to say for you to get the mind to quiet down a bit, and so that you can open up more fully to the moment and let go of that resistance that's blocking the very things that you say that you want. So next time, again, you catch yourself worrying, doubting, fearing, just take a few conscious breaths. Literally either place your hands on your heart space or place your attention into your heart space and use those affirmations, because that is really powerful. You want to open up to the flow of life. Again, our higher self, our soul knows where you are and where you want to be. And I liken this to you walking in a maze, right? If you're walking through a maze, you're gonna have to go around and trying every corner and not getting any help. You're not gonna really know where to go, and it's gonna take you a lot longer. But our higher self, or our soul, has the aerial view of the maze, right? And it's always encouraging us to follow the signs. And when we do that, we can get to our destination a lot faster, actually. And so what is the way? How do we know when our higher self is communicating with us? It's joy, it's passion, it's being excited. If you have a curiosity, if you have something that's going to bring you joy in the moment, do it. This doesn't mean you have to pick one thing and say, this is what I'm doing, this is my passion, and I need to go in this direction. No, it just means that in every moment, you have a multitude of options of what you can do. You can eat a meal, you can call a friend, you can go for a walk, you can watch a YouTube video. Just pick the thing that inspires you the most in that moment, that excites you the most in that moment. And then just keep following that trail. That truly is the path. And you want to get really good. You want to become an earnest investigator of yourself, because sometimes we think that something that brought us joy yesterday or the day before is going to automatically bring us joy today. And that's not necessarily true. We want to get curious in the moment, like, is this truly going to bring me joy today? The other thing is, sometimes there's a false belief, a negative belief that maybe you're holding on to, or a fear that's causing you to not do the thing that brings you joy. Maybe it's that I can't do that yet because I have to do my work so I can get paid, right? And then you're seeing that there's a belief that you can't make money doing something that you love and just by following your joy. And so you want to start examining those beliefs. It's great to start writing them down and seeing, okay, this is a belief. Get excited when you find these negative beliefs or limiting beliefs, whatever you want to call them, and be like, okay, what would I prefer to believe instead? I believe that I'm always supported, that creation's always supporting me, the universe is on my side. I just need to follow my joy and I will be supported in everything I do. That's a very different belief than thinking I have to do it this way. So get curious about what is bringing you joy in the moment, and just continue to follow that excitement and continue to follow that passion. That truly is the way. And don't have any expectations as to where it's going to lead you, because again, something that brought you joy the day before might change, or it might not be the exact thing that you're going to be doing, but maybe it leads to something else. So open your mind to the possibilities, because there are endless possibilities for your life for you to be excited and joyful about. I hope that you found this video helpful. When you get into these states of feeling like you're creating resistance for yourself, when you're feeling negativity, go into meditation if you have time, or if not, just take a pause and take 3 conscious breaths, put your hands on your heart, and affirm things to yourself. All we ever have is this present moment. This is our point of power. This is where you're manifesting from. Nothing that happened in the past and nothing that's yet to be written in the future. The future is truly yours to create from your state of consciousness in this moment. I hope you found this video helpful. Please don't forget to like and hit subscribe. And I would love to hear from you if you try any of this and how you help release resistance in your life.